All right. Hello. Welcome everybody to our weekly Zoom series for Fitness Fest. And this episode is going to be fun. It is happens to be my daughter, Erin La Grassa. I'll pull that name in there, who is going to be with her company that she co-created. She created with Andrea, who's also on the call, EMBODY. And EMBODY is going to be the pump up the crowd for Fitness Fest on Friday morning, bright and early. So we're excited to have her. We're going to talk to her about her dancing career and more about EMBODY. I'm going to have Jessica be the interviewer because I'm the mom. So there you go, and we'll get a little bit of different perspectives. So Jessica Maurer, for anyone who does not know Jessica Maurer, you certainly should if you've been in the fitness industry for any length of time. Jessica Maurer was our keynote speaker last year. She speaks all over the country. She spoke at Clemson last week. And at many different events, has a full life speaking and teaching and that singing karaoke bingo thing or whatever, that like you're everywhere, right? So and we're excited that you will be at Fitness Fest. You've got two sessions. You are doing prenatal, menopause and beyond, and 5 hidden retention gems, and you're also moderating the ISSA's career panel. We'll talk about more of that in another episode, but wanted to thank you, Jess, and thank you, Erin, and everybody else for hopping on. And Jessica, I'm going to let you get started and talking to Erin.
You got it. Thank you so much, Janice. And hi, everyone out there in Fitness Fest land. Again, it was so good to be here. And thank you, Janice, for asking me to step in and pretend to be you for a little while I get to interview the amazing Erin, who's going to tell us all about Embody Dance and Embody Movement app and so many other things. So, Erin, hi, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so excited to talk to you too because I also started dancing when I was two. And I love the fact that you are the hype up girls for Tony Robbins. Like that's a big deal. That's like fireworks and things throwing in the air kind of big deal. Erin, how did that come to be? How are you and your lovely business partner Andrea, who's also on the phone here, who we're going to bring on in just a moment. How did you guys become the people who hyped up the crowd for Tony?
Yes, it's actually a really amazing story. We call it divine intervention, really. After I had my second son, I kind of go slightly back, but I felt like I needed to change. I had a little extra love on me, and I was like, I need to do something. So I started running, listening to the book "You're a Badass at Making Money" by Sincero is her last name, Jane Sincero, whatever her name is. And it was like, you got to go do something. You got to sign up for an event to do a seminar or whatever. So I signed up for Life and Wealth Mastery, which is one of Tony's events in Fiji. And I didn't know who Tony was. So that was 2017. And from that point forward, my whole life sort of shifted into deeper personal growth because Tony is a strategist and a personal growth master. And so there's a program called Platinum Partnership where you are part of a group that goes to every single one of his events all year long. It's super kind of exclusive in a different style of people. They're people that want to better themselves as business owners, wives, moms, humans, philanthropists, all the things. So I signed up for this group when I could finally afford it, kind of. And then COVID hit. And so I had to pause it because everything changed once COVID hit. And then I activated my partnership in, I think it was October. This is going to be 2021. I always forget this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2020. And the second event, that event I went to, and then the second event, Juliana Huff, the dancer, had Kinergy, which is who was on the stage kind of pumping us up for Tony's events. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I loved the dancing aspect of it because he never really had that before. It was very minimal. And then I think a month to the date after my second event, on a Saturday night, it was January 8th because it was right before my husband's birthday. Andrea called me out of the blue, which I was like, what? That's really weird. It was like 8 p.m. And so I answered it because I hadn't talked to her in a long time. We both had our second kids, and then you do nothing but mom at that point. And she's like, Erin, Tony Robbins needs dancers. I'm like, what? And so she had no idea I was in Tony's world. She just, when I asked her, I'm like, why did you choose me? Because she is also very connected in the dance world. She's like, because I know you're good at getting stuff done. I'm like, oh, okay. So the next day we had a Zoom interview, and they hired us, and we created a new LLC that day. We flew out to Florida the next day, and we ordered outfits online, and they showed up in Florida, and then we've been doing it ever since. And so every single month we're on stage with him. What we do is we say we elevate energy. So we really shift the energy of every single event. It's very simple movement. It's just dancing movement. And so Andrea and I have created an incredible team of dancers. There's male and female, so it's kind of funny because Andrea and I knew each other from the NFL. We cheered in the NFL together. And that's what came of it is this. And obviously, the energy on the field in the NFL is quite incredible. But the energy inside of Tony's events is just another level. And it means something different, right? It means joy and freedom of movement and happiness and love of your body, love of humanity, and just joyfulness. Because when you move your body and dance specifically, for us, it's just a different kind of joy. And so it doesn't really feel like working out. That's kind of how it happened. That was probably way too much information, but that's how it happened.
No, that was wonderful. I'm going to ask Andrea to come on. And Andrea, is there anything you want to add to this amazing story about how you just called Erin out of the blue and just had a feeling she was meant to be your business partner?
Yeah, Erin definitely covered a good chunk of the story. But one of the things that we like to say is just that proximity is power, and how I even got that call initially was just through people that we know. And sometimes in life, you just have to say yes when you have no idea what it is that you're really saying yes to. When I got that initial call from a friend of mine that Tony Robbins was looking for some new dancers, Erin was the first person that popped into my head, and I didn't really think too much of it other than, okay, Erin would know what to do, because I had no idea what that meant or how to even implement it. So the fitness and dance part was the easy part, because we, like Erin said, we have NFL training, we have a dance background. So that part I wasn't worried about. It was more like, oh, shoot, how do we even make this happen? So Erin is the best executor I've ever met. Um, just in life in general, not just business. She is a master at it. So yeah, that's I think why we're a big reason why we're still doing it 5 years later is it's not hasn't just been about the movement. It's been about evolving and changing and creating raving fans the whole way through. And now we're at the point that we are currently, and we've been blessed to travel all over the world and have a lot of great opportunities.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And Erin, that must make you feel so incredibly loved to hear her say that you are the best executor. That must mean that you really have this entrepreneurial or business spirit, if you will. I'd love to know, how did you even come to, about putting together Embody? How did that become a business for you, Erin?
I think, like Andrea said, yeah, I'll touch on that. I have chills on my spine because I've always been partners in business with my husband, which is, I mean, he has to kind of love me, I guess, because we're married and we have kids. But Andrea has been the most incredibly supportive cheer. She is like a true cheerleader, actually. I probably am not so much, but she's such a huge support and such a beautiful kind of free soul. So thank you for saying that, Andrea. She's so supportive. It's awesome to have her as a partner. Um, I don't know. I've always believed you jump and the net will appear. Like I'm not afraid. I think I've actually never really worked for anyone aside from being a contractor or like I was a server, dance jobs here and there. But since I was 20, I started my first business with my husband, manufacturing skateboards. I don't know what I was doing. We just sort of started it. He's like, "Can you do the books?" And I'm very good at accounting, which is random because I'm a dancer, but I also have a bookkeeping company, so I'm very good at accounting. So I understand business and economics. I ended up getting a business degree from Arizona State, but however, what taught me the most about business was my first business with my husband manufacturing skateboards for 10 years because it was so hard. So we just essentially failed a lot. But we failed forward and we sold it in 2013. And so that gave me a lot more grit, right? So I think it was excruciating at times. And so I'm not really afraid of business. I'm not afraid at all. So just jump and understand that if one thing doesn't work, you got to be nimble and you shift. And that's kind of like throwing something at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Mhm.
And also the gift of being around Tony, he is a master at business. He has 121 companies. So his business mastery events are profoundly impactful. I learn every single time. It doesn't matter how many times you go to that event or any event, you just learn more and more and more. And he's a business guru. So it's helped to have some real skill sets, I guess, acquired by him.
Is that around the time that you had the idea for the app at one of these business summits that you were going to, where you were like, hey, not only are we really good on stage, but that means we could be really good in people's homes as well? Is that where you kind of got the app idea from?
Yeah. So, I mean, when Andrea and I started with Tony, we knew that it's sort of the pinnacle of events. And for us, such a gift and an honor. We just always feel very grateful to be part of that mission. And so we knew no matter what, we're stoked if it's just Tony. But a lot of people after every single event wanted to continue moving at home like this. They're like, I haven't danced like this in 20 years and I want to do this. And so we sort of organically created an app so that people can sign in whenever they want and move with us. There's tons of different kinds of movement. We really try to focus very recently, I guess, on what we call vitality boosts. It's literally, I think it's the closest to like 80s aerobics, if you ask me. It's just getting your heart rate up through just dancing, really. Very simple movement, but just moving because it's so easy that it's repeatable, that you don't have to think too hard. You're just moving your body. It's like going to a wedding and you dance. You don't care if you just feel super good after it. So we created the app so that everybody can do that. There's also meditations on it and weightlifting and strength training and HIIT. There's all of the things, but our core focus is the dance movement, vitality boosts.
And with the app, is it mainly you and Andrea on it, or do you have a plethora of different instructors?
We have a plethora of different instructors. So we also have certified trainers and stuff like that on there. So it's a plethora of instructors. I don't think everybody wants to see our faces only all the time.
I love that.
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So a couple things. First of all, anyone who's never been to a Tony Robbins event, the energy, I got to go, I think it was 2023-ish. I don't remember. I went with Erin's mother-in-law, Anita, and the energy of the thousands and thousands of people is, I mean, Tony himself, of course, is so motivational, but Erin and her pump up the crowd and EMBODY was just like, wow. And it's in person, but then they have all these thousands of people virtually as well. So you see millions of little Zoom squares and everybody, husbands, wives, and kids are all dancing. And so, yeah, you want to keep up that energy. And I also wanted to add that when I got to go to this event, Erin's sister, our other daughter, Tara, she's a dancer too, and she got to be they were both on stage. And Anita and I walked in, I'm probably going to cry. We walked in and there they were on stage. It's like, oh my God, this is just incredible. So it's very, very, very cool. And then, yeah, they have I guess you'll call it a recording studio. It's right around the corner from here. And I just want to add that I did one of the workouts once and I have not seen myself. So I believe I'm on the cutting floor. I made it to the floor. Where am I, Andrea and Erin?
I think you're on the app. I don't, Plexi helps us do all that. So
Plexi, is it your fault? Just teasing, of course. So anyway, of course, I'm super proud of Erin for everything she does and how I love that you said executor, because that is true. She gets shit done, man. And as everybody knows, I'm the only one who's allowed to swear. So she gets shit done. Keep
And I love
going
that this is such a full circle moment because you now, Erin, you're going to get to come basically to work with mom, but
Yeah.
for your own business, right? So Erin and EMBODY are going to be with us at FitnessFest on Friday morning. So that energy that Janice was just talking about, that's what they're bringing to FitnessFest. So if you're ready to get pumped up and ready for an amazing weekend, we totally invite you to come sign up for FitnessFest at fitnessfest.org and sign up for the EMBODY class on Friday morning because they definitely are going to pump up your energy and you'll be hyped for the rest of the weekend. What can people expect from that workshop with you, Erin?
Honestly, you're going to just expect elevating your energy, just feeling good and joyful. I mean, that's our intent. We believe everybody's meant to move. If you look at little toddlers, they dance without worrying about it. We believe that's what everyone is meant to do. And so that's how you'll feel after you join us at Fitness Fest.
So you and Andrea both have brought this up a few times. So we've got to address it. You guys were NFL cheerleaders. And so for those of us who were never at that level, do we need to practice our kicks now? Do we need to be practicing our
Yes.
splits? Like
You
what?
should be practicing splits and your kicks and some pirouettes, perhaps. Bring your pom-poms. No, I'm just kidding. No, we don't do really any of that. Like, that's definitely not, that's kind of the thing, right? It's so simple that it's not intimidating. That was the slight shift for us on Tony's stage. Every single dancer that's on stage with us has actually been a legit professional dancer. Some of them, like big artists, dance for big artists. And when they come on the stage, I'm like, you are not here to perform, you're here to elevate energy. There's a very slight shift in that. And it's very difficult if you dance your whole life and you perform because you're taught to perform. Look at me, look at me. But if you're in an audience and you're 98% of the audience and you don't dance, they're like, whoa, they're too scared to get up and move their body. So we do very simple movements. So you do not have to practice your splits or bring your pom-poms. It'll be very easy and all of you will be able to do it. It just elevates your energy.
I mean, you can bring your pom-poms, don't get us wrong. Like
If you want,
if you want
go
them,
for it.
bring them, but not required. Okay, that makes me feel
Not
so much
required.
better about coming into that class.
Well, at the Tony event, every single person stands up. Every single person, no matter how old. Like she brought her grandma, who was in a wheelchair.
90, yeah, she was 95. She went. It was awesome. Everybody,
So
it's a different
everybody
energy, it's a
stands
different
up.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's such a cool story too, to hear that it's been your mom, your mother-in-law, your sister, and your grandma have all
And Andrea's sister is always on the stage with us as well. So it's a family affair because her sister also cheered with us in the NFL. So it's awesome.
Wow. It's
Sorry,
quite the
didn't mean to
family
interrupt you.
affair. No, that's amazing. It's quite the family affair. Now, can we expect any surprise family members to show up during the Fitness Fest event?
I don't know. I don't
Are
think
you
so.
gonna bring your pom-pom?
Maybe my mom.
I'll
Maybe
bring
we'll
my
get my
pom-poms.
brother. Just kidding. He won't be doing that.
Well, it sounds like you have had quite the spectacular career. I mean, NFL cheerleading, you danced all your life, NFL cheerleading, you owned a skateboard manufacturing company, which seems completely out of left field. For now to hear that you have EMBODY Movement, where you have the app, the fitness component of it, as well as the hype girls over at Tony Robbins. What do you think has really been a career highlight for you that you would want to share with our audience?
There's so many. I just feel very blessed and fortunate to have all of the experiences that I've had. I have a very, very full and beautiful life, and I honestly should and can contribute that to both of my parents. And I would say, I don't know if there's a career highlight. I mean, because Embody, every single time we're on that stage, I know Andrea feels this. I know every single dancer feels this. That's why they all want to do all the events. You just get waves of gratitude every time you're there. So it's Tony's events are the highlight probably of my career from a dance perspective, and dance is my heart. It's Andrea's heart. And so to be able to I'm 43 and actually get paid to dance still, it's pretty rare, I think. And so I'm always just so grateful for that opportunity. So that is probably the career highlight. And I think I would probably want to venture to say, if I were to say what I got from my mom is generating and creating positivity and certainty no matter what. And there's a quote that Tony says, and he says that the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty that you can withstand and deal with. And I think that my mom had uncertainty a lot in her life when I was growing up in different forms, but no matter what, she just kept going and building her business because she loved fitness so much and all of that. And I saw that. And I think that's a huge reason I think I'm successful in any of the businesses that I have. And so there's not like one career thing. It's probably a belief system. It's like a belief system that if I can't find the way, I'll make the way. I will always find certainty inside myself. Certainty doesn't exist. We have to create it inside ourselves, like maintaining positivity. That really probably came from my mom because she's always had a business herself. And I think I was very clearly meant to be an entrepreneur. And I'm just a serial entrepreneur.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, not only is this your belief system coming into play with your serial entrepreneurism, but I think what's also amazing is that you are also a mom. And so you have a lot of these plates spinning all at the same time. Is there any type of advice that you would give to our audience about having their own fitness business, their own app,
Mm.
their own professional life, but also still having a really thriving personal life as well?
Yeah, and I think again, I think my mom taught me I can have all of that, right? People are like, you can't have it all. I'm like, bullshit. I'll say shit now since you said shit. Um, I don't believe that. I think that's a limiting belief. And really, it's an ebb and a flow. I'll call it grit and grace. I think you have to have extreme grit and because things are not business is not easy, life is not easy. And so, but you also have to have grace and trust in divine timing and trust in whatever you believe in, God's source energy, that everything is happening for a reason, everything is happening for us, not to us. That's a Tony-ism. So yeah, I don't, it's like everybody knows it's trying to find balance. And I think it's sometimes it's heavy on the grit side, and sometimes it's heavy on the flow, the feminine, the grace side. But yeah, I don't know. I think probably everybody can understand. Well, maybe not everybody can understand. But the older that you get, the wiser you become in terms of finding that balance, like serving yourself. Like Fridays, today, my mom and I worked out at the gym and I did the sauna and I read my book and I took a shower. I have an outside shower. And so I kind of honored myself like that. And then now I'll have this and I'll work a bit until my kids are home from school. So I don't know. It's just a ebb and flow, grit and grace.
I love that analogy so much. I use that constantly when people ask like how do you find balance? And you're like, there's no such thing, right? It's
Yeah.
literally like the ocean. It's ebbing and flowing, and it just depends on the day as to where the tide is.
Yeah.
That is so true. Well, tell us, Erin, how can people get a hold of you? How can people contact you? And how do they learn more about the app?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are offering a free 7-day challenge. And really, all you do is you log onto our app and we'll have you guys can email it out to anybody listening or your Facebook page and social media channels. And then you just join the app and then you'll get access to all of our content and you can do our challenge. So that's how you can get access. And then, of course, seeing us at Fitness Fest. And I'll have a couple other dancers with me there and you can come talk to us whenever you want on Friday morning.
Oh, that's amazing. We're so glad to have you here. Thank you for sharing all of your insights and your history with us. Before we leave, do you have any last golden nuggets that you want to leave with our audience?
I don't know if I'd have golden nuggets. I don't know. Probably what I said. Everything's happening for us, not to us. And just there's not certainty in generating that certainty inside of us. And fitness is, I think, health and wellness finally is kind of trending. I mean, not finally, there's always been a niche, but it's just expanding. Wellness is expanding. And so it's such a great industry to be in, I believe, because there's nothing without health. So it's the baseline of all things. And some days I don't dance. Some days I want to lift weights. Sometimes I do yoga. Sometimes I do Pilates. Sometimes I do bar. So, but dancing specifically for me, I know always just makes me feel very, very good. So
And you have
choose
all of
your,
those other modalities on your app as well?
yeah, we have all of everything on our app.
That's really amazing. So we can come in and dance with you on one day and then lift with you on one day and do yoga on the
Yeah,
next. And you mentioned meditations too. Is that something that you practice on the daily?
I do actually. I actually use, we have meditation in our app and then I use an Insight Timer and I do it every single morning. I do it in the morning so before my kids get up or else
Oh,
it doesn't get done.
that's really
And that
smart.
has been also a huge transformation for me is meditation.
So a little self-care before you have to go and be everybody else's caring. You need
Yeah,
to go first and foremost. And if
100%.
yeah, if you're watching this on the replay, Fitness Fest, we have a lot of interesting breath work and sound and meditation classes for you to check out. So make sure you go over to that schedule or check out the schedule at a glance and find our more mind body style classes. That was one of the things we put Fitness Fest together. Janice was like, we got to have this through line that's coming through with health and wellness. It can't just be about sets and reps. We've got to make sure we have that mental capacity tied into it as well. So, Erin, thank
100%.
you so much for being here with us. I'm sure that if you're out there listening, you're already signed up for Fitness Fest. You're going to make sure that you're taking the Embody class on Friday morning with us. It's called Elevate Energy with Embody Movement. And oh, tell us your website, Erin, too, so people can go check it out.
Yeah, it's embodymovement.com. And we also are on the social media channels. It's embody_movement if on Instagram and we'll share that as well with you guys so you can see it.
Yeah, we'll put it all
Great.
in the show notes, and then of course in the email that goes out to our list. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Erin. All
Yeah,
you
thank you. That was great. Thanks so much.
hearts
That
and
was
thumbs
great.
up. Janice, I'm
Thank
going to kick
you.
it back over to you.
All right. Thank you, Erin. I thought that was a really nice conversation. I think we covered a lot, and it's so true about trying to get balance in your life, and you can do it all. I was just on a podcast yesterday with Ellen DeWard, and we talked about that, taking chances and like taking action, taking steps, and why can some people do it and why cannot? Is it a gene? Is it your parents? Is it just it's just do it. And so this was, thank you, Erin. Thank you, Jessica, for being the interviewee. Appreciate that. And we look forward to every Friday at noon Mountain Time. We changed times this Sunday, I believe. No, not this Sunday, next week. Sorry. So next Friday will still be noon. But when we change times, everybody remember Arizona does not change times. So we'll keep you up with that crazy time zone stuff. So every week we have a special sponsor, Embodies one of our sponsors, or different speakers, so that we can get a flavor of what's going to be going on at Fitness Fest. It's usually a beautiful organic conversation with somebody. Next week we have Trisha Murphy Madden, and if you have been around the block at all, you certainly know Trisha Murphy Madden's name as well with Fit Pro Programming. So we will be talking to her next week. This recording, those of you who are live, thank you very much. But this, of course, is being recorded with only a couple cuss words, so that was pretty good. And we'll make sure the website of Embody gets out there. Thank you, Andrea, for hopping on as well. I appreciate that. And thanks, Jessica, and thank you, Erin, of course. I love you so much. And believe it or not, Erin and I live 2 doors from each other. And that skateboard warehouse that you talked about, I'm in that office. We talked about yesterday it being the ghetto office. I'm in there. Okay. It's a big 3,000 square foot, like Paul's still doing the cars in the back, or not Paul himself, but he's got a bunch of warehouses. So it's a family affair. I guess you would say. So, yeah. Okay. I think that's it. Fitnessfest.org, lots of great workshops. And like you said, it's not just reps and lifting kettlebells, although we have that too, but meditation, sound bowls, yoga, Pilates bar, dance. Of course, Embody is going to pump us all up. One of the first thing of the weekend. So we look forward to having everybody there. So we are going to stop the recording and say goodbye to everybody. And thank you so much. We will see you next Friday.